Sorry about that.
That's all right. Okay, so you ready? All right. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom to those who have joined us in person, and to those of you who are out there in cyberspace. That's a good way of putting it. Nice. Good morning, Sarah. We're going to be starting on page 105 with Matovu.
And we thought we'd try to counteract the rather dismal weather with some upbeat tunes. Hello, Philip. Hello, Sandra.
Unbelievable traffic. Don't know what's going on out there.
Ah, that might be.
Your explanation is being shared with the universe. I was just explaining to those online who have listened to your every word that we're going for some upbeat tunes wherever we can. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Your turn. La 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 la. Matovu alecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael.
O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. Through your great love, O God, I enter your house. With awe, I worship in your sanctuary. Eternal God, I love the house where your glory dwells. Humbly, I worship before my God and Maker. May our prayers be acceptable to you, eternal God. In your great kindness, answer us with your saving truth. And we continue on the bottom of page 105 together. As we say prayers of our ancestors, help us, O God, to remember their faith and devotion, their joy and suffering, and make us worthy of our heritage. May the tradition we have received live in us and pass us to generations we shall never know, enriched by the truth we have found and the good we have done. So may we fulfill our task on earth and receive our blessing. Eternal God, school us in your teachings and make us loyal to your commandments. May we never consent to evil or surrender to temptation or self-contempt. Help us to rise above selfishness and make us responsive to the voice of conscience. Direct our every impulse to your service. Today and every day, may we merit kindness and compassion in your sight and in the sight of all who behold us, and let us know your love. We praise you, O God, for the love you daily show us. We turn to page 113 for Elohai Neshama on the top of the page.
Maybe the tune's not so upbeat, but the thoughts are. So think about what we've got here at the top of page 113. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorai. 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 Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorai.
We praise you, O God, in whose hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. We turn to page 120 for Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat.
Mishmoshir Yom HaShabbat Tol Adol Adonai Ulazamer L'Shimcha Elyon Ulazamer L'Shimcha Elyon V'hagi Babocher Chazdecha V'emunatcha b'leilot
Page 121, we read responsibly. The righteous shall flourish like the palm, planted in the house of the Eternal One. They shall still bear fruit in old age, proclaiming that God is just. We turn to page 135 as we rise for Yishtabach.
Yishtabach Shimcha Ad Malkeinu Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VaHaKadosh B'Shamayim U'Ba'aretz Ki Lecha Na'eh Adonai Eloheinu V'Elohei Avoteinu V'Emotenu Shir U'Shmacha Hallel U'Zimra Barachot V'Hodahot Me'ata V'ad Olam Baruch atah Adonai, Abocher b'shirei zimra.
cycles of the day and the cycles basically in life as we sing on the top of page 136.
Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzei or u'orei choshech osei shalom u'varei hakol. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
We praise you, O God, creator of light. We read together, bottom of page 136. Great is your love for us, eternal God, and abundant your compassion. Our ancestors trusted in you, and you taught them the laws of life. So be gracious to us and teach us. Incline our hearts to hear your words, to know and understand, to learn and teach, and with love to uphold the truths of your Torah. Enlighten us with your teaching, make us faithful to your commandments, and wholehearted in the love and awe of your name. For in love you summon us to serve you and proclaim your unity. We praise you, O God. In love you have called your people Israel to serve you. We rise with Shema.
Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. You shall love your God with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. of them in your home and on your way. When you lie down, when you rise up, bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorpost of your house and upon your gates. Ani Adonai Elohechem, I am your God. Tizkaru asitem kol mitzvotai v'yetem kadoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, v'yot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Good and beautiful and true, sound, established and enduring are these words, now and forever. True it is, Eternal One, that you are our sovereign God and Redeemer, as you are the God and Redeemer of our ancestors. You are our Maker, the rock of our salvation. We have known you always as our helper and our liberator. There is no God but you. Truly you are first and you are last. We have no Redeemer but you. You redeemed us from Egypt and freed us from the house of bondage. And with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel together sang to you this song. And today it's to a tune from the Seder, so let's see if you can recognize it.
Yep, that's. La 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 la. That's your clue.
Okay.
What when we sing that in the Seder? What is it? La 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 la. It's B'tzeit Yisrael.
Craig's got it, but it's Israel.
But today it's Michamoka.
It's not a lie.
No. It's just, it's.
All right then.
We're just making.
True.
Okay. Let's. Please.
Say this. No, it's not. Michamoka ba'elim Adonai, Michamoka ne'edav kodesh. Michamoka ba'elim Adonai, Michamoka ne'edav kodesh. Nora tehilot osefele, Nora tehilot osefele. Adonai imlok le'olam va'ed. Michamoka ba'elim Adonai, Michamoka ne'edav kodesh. So Yisrael, Kuma b'ezrat Yisrael, Kaleinu Adonai Tzavot Shemo, Kadosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael, Israel.
the tefillah.
Adonai, Sevetai Tiftach, Ufi Agite Ilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chazdei Avot v'Imachot, V'Mevi Gula v'Bnei Bneihem, L'Ma'an Shemo v'Yahava, Melech Ozer v'Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Ezra Sarah, atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, B'chayei Metim atah, Ra L'Hoshia, Mashib HaRuach, U'Morid HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh, U'Morid HaTal.
Mechalchel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayei Meitim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somek Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mechayem Emunato, L'Shenei Afar. Mi chamocha ba'al gevorot, u'midom elach, melech meimit u'mechaye, u'matzmiach Yeshua.
V'ne'aman atah v'chayot meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, B'chayei hametim.
Nekadesh et shemcha ba'olam, Kashem shemakdishim oto bishmei marom, Kakatuv al yad neviyecha, al yad neviyecha. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melol haaretz kevodo.
Kevodo malei olam.
Baruch kavod Adonai mimkomo.
Yimkomecha malkeinu tofia, v'timloch aleinu, ki mechakim anachnu lach.
Yimloch Adonai leolam, v'layik Zion, v'tov ado. Hallelujah. L'tov ado, l'tov ado, l'tov ado, nagid God lecha. L'tov ado, l'tov ado, l'tov ado, nagid God lecha. Ulenetzach netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, krushatka nagdi. Ulenetzach netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, krushatka nagdi. L'tov ado, l'tov ado, l'tov ado, nagid God lecha. L'tov ado, l'tov ado, l'tov ado, nagid God lecha. L'shichacha Eloheinu mipenu lo yamush le'olam va'ed. L'shichacha Eloheinu mipenu lo yamush le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh. We can resume our seats. And we continue together on the bottom, page 142. You inspired our ancestors to hallow this day for your service. When upon its coming, we pause to contemplate our life. We learn anew that we do not live by bread alone, but also by the spiritual nourishment we receive when we open ourselves to influence. We thank you for the Sabbath day and for the opportunity it offers to enhance the quality of our lives. We thank you for its joy and for its peace. May our worship help us to take into our hearts its message of holiness and consecrate all our days by devotion to what is true, beautiful, and good.
Yismechu b'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat b'chorei oneg Shabbat Yismechu b'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat b'chorei oneg Shabbat Shabbat Kulam Izbo Veitango Mitovecha Shabbat Yismechu b'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat b'chorei oneg Shabbat Yismechu b'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat b'chorei oneg Shabbat Ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat Chemdar yamin Oto karata Shabbat Yismechu b'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat b'chorei oneg Shabbat Yismechu b'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat b'chorei oneg Shabbat Zecher L'maseh Reishit Shabbat L'maseh Reishit Shabbat Yismechu b'malachutecha Shomrei Shabbat b'chorei oneg Shabbat.
Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath.
Say Adonai Eloheinu Achai Israel Udavi Atam
give thanks that you, eternal one, are our God, as you are the God of our ancestors. You are the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our souls, which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. Praise to our God, source of peace, to whom our thanks are due.
Sim shalom tova uvracha, sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Sim shalom tova uvracha, sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al chol Yisrael amecha. Sim shalom aleinu ve'al chol yoshvei tevel. Sim shalom tova uvracha, sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim.
You have revealed to us the law of life, the love of kindness and righteousness, blessing and mercy, life and peace. For it is good in your sight that your people Israel and all peoples be blessed at all times with your gift of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Oseh HaShalom. We take a few moments now for our own thoughts and prayers.
Il razzonem refi, il razzonem refi, egion levi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'goali. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. say shalom bimromav. Uya say shalom aleinu. Oh, Israel. Val kol yoshvei tevel. Amen.
Before we turn to page 490 for the service for taking out of Torah, just going to ask if there's anybody else that you can see.
Yes. Hello to James.
Hello, James.
And Michelle.
And Michelle. It's nice, lovely to have you both with us, and those who we can't really see if you're there on all the other. Okay, so on page 490. Now then, you know how it is when everybody has to get involved? So Philip and Sandy, you can open the ark. Michael, I'd like you to read the Haftarah. That's all right. I know you can read and read well, so I'll let you, if you want to have an advanced look at it, I'll let you sit down and kind of stare. It's this one because it's Shabbat Hagadol, so it's a Malachi.
I read that in Hebrew or?
No, English, yes.
Okay.
So, but not just yet, that's after the Torah reading. So, you too. Yes, you two are going to open the ark.
You volunteered, didn't we?
So, assemble the people, all of you, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities, to hear and learn to revere the Eternal One, your God, and observe faithfully all the precepts of this Torah, and that their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere the Eternal One, your God. Please rise.
V'ha'erneinu b'toratecha, v'dabek lebeinu b'mitzvotecha, v'yached levaveinu, v'yahava u'yira et shemecha.
Well, let's not anybody break anything. Any more than we already are. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Adol Shemo.
Gadlu Adonai Iti, Uneromima, Shemo, Yachdav.
Yalai, lalai, lalai. I need the words.
Oh dear, this is not working out.
There we go.
Thank you.
That's it, we got it.
Kikol b'shamayim u'aretz lai 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 lecha Adonai ha'malacha v'hamiknasei lechol erosh lai 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 lai
It's still in the right. So today's Torah reading is Tzav, and I have to say, it's more about sacrifices, and I'm afraid these sacrifices and these parshat don't interest me very much. Consequently, I suspect they have the same effect on most of you. So I'm only going to read a very small bit. Yes, that's correct. And so what we're going to be reading, that's great. Lost my place. Just going to read you the translation before or maybe I am, before I read. I thought I'd put a marker in it, and obviously I've taken my marker out. Very good. No, I'm in the right place. It's chapter 6, and we're only doing verses 1 to 4 if anybody's following along. And this is what I'm going to be reading. Thus spoke the Eternal spoke to Moses, saying, Command Aaron and his sons thus. This is the ritual of the burnt offering. The burnt offering itself shall remain where it is burnt upon the altar all night until morning, while the fire on the altar is kept going on it. The priest shall dress in linen raiment with linen breeches next to his body, and he shall rake up the ashes to which the fire has reduced the burnt offering on the altar and place them beside the altar. He shall then take off his vestments and put on other vestments and carry the ashes outside the camp to a clean place. And of course, as Rabbi Renee noted last week, all of these things just kind of remind us that this was the way that our ancestors drew near to God, but we found better ways, such as prayer and our good deeds in the world to draw near to God. So we're going to have a group aliyah today, as it were. So we'll all say the blessings together. Okay? So, Baruch Hu. If you want to rise for the blessings, we'll say them together. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaBaruch. Baruch Adonai HaBaruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notei HaTorah. Vince. You can sit down now, it's fine. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Tzav et Acharon v'et banav lemor. Zot Torat ha'olah. Hi ha'olah al mokdah al hamizbeach kol halayla ad haboker. Ve'esh hamizbeach tukad bo. V'lavash hakohen mido bad v'mekneseh bad yelbash al bisaro v'herem et hadeshen asher tochal ha'esh et ha'olah al hamizbeach v'samo etzel hamizbeach v'shat et begdav v'lebash begadim acharim v'hotzi et hadeshen el mechutz lemachaneh al mekom tahor. We say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'hayei olam natav b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Philip said he must tie this thing up.
Romano Adonai Eloheinu v'Yisacharo v'Hakosho. Romano Adonai Eloheinu v'Yisacharo v'Hakosho.
So, I'm going to let you dress it.
Yeah.
No, dress the scroll.
Grab hold of the top.
Say again.
Grab the top. Kingston. Get the banners behind now.
He's got it. And now I'm going to invite Michael to come and read our Haftarah today, which is from Malachi. This is the special Haftarah for Shabbat Hagadol.
I'm going to give the
You want to do the blessing? Yeah. Here we go.
you do. Good.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'michodim ve'ratza b'divrchem hanemarim emet Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah Moshe yato Yisrael amo Then the offerings of Judah and Jerusalem will be pleasing to the Eternal, as they were in days of old, as in years long past. Then I will draw near to you for justice. I myself will be swift to witness against sorcerers, adulterers, those who swear falsely, those who extort the wages of workers, oppress widows and orphans, and who thrust aside strangers. All those who do not fear me, says God of heaven's hosts. For I, the Eternal, have not changed, and thus you, the children of Jacob, have not ceased to be from the days of your ancestors. You have strayed
The other way.
from the days of your ancestors. You have strayed from my statutes and have not observed them. Return to me, and I will return to you, says the God of heaven's hosts. Yet you say, in what way do we need to return? Is that the end of it?
It's really thin. It's very thin pages.
Oh.
And they stick together.
Oh, here we go. Can anyone cheat God? Yet you do cheat me. And you say, how have we cheated you? In regard to tithes and sacred contributions, you're cursed with a curse, for you are cheating me, and the whole lot of you. Bring the full tithe to the storehouse, so that there is food in my house. Test me in this, says the God of heaven's hosts. I will not open heaven's windows for you and pour down for you a limitless blessing. I'll rebuke the devourer for you, so that it does not destroy the fruit of your soil, nor will the vine in the field be barren for you, says the God of heaven's hosts. All the nations shall count you happy, for you shall be a land of delight, says the God of heaven's hosts. Your words have been harsh against me, says the Eternal. Yet you say, what have we said to one another against you? You have said, it's useless to serve God. What gain is there in observing God's service by walking with mourners' attire before the gods of heaven's hosts? Is that the end? We account.
Stop. Actually,
Sorry.
let's end it there.
It ends there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the blessing
So
after.
say the blessing.
Yeah, blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam su kol haolamim tzadik v'kol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'oseh medaber u'mkayem ki hodebarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה לכבוד ותפארת על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך יתברך שמך לפי כל היתמים לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. And we're going to rise for a few community prayers. So we say, Eternal God, we ask your blessing for our sovereign King Charles, for all those who govern our country, and all who influence the quality of its national life. May they be conscious of their responsibility, and we of ours, so that together we may fashion in this country a society with freedom, justice, and compassion at its heart, one in which diversity is respected and cherished. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless all our brothers and sisters of the house of Israel who enter synagogues to study, pray, and to give aid to those in need. May the Holy One to whom all praise is due hear their prayers and help them to fulfill their aspirations for good. We ask your blessing on the state of Israel and its leaders, that they may be inspired by the words of Torah and the prophets to govern with justice and compassion, creating a society in which the image of God in all who live there is recognized and respected.
Amen.
And on the Yahalelu et Shem Adonai, ki nizgav Shemo levado.
Hodo alaret v'shamayim v'yarem ve'yamo v'hiyah ha'chadidah b'nei Yisrael amro. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
This is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel in time to come, says the Eternal One. I will put my teaching within them and engrave it on their hearts. I will be their God, and they shall be my people. No longer shall anyone need to teach a friend or a neighbor to honor me, for they all shall know me, young and old alike.
Ashirenu Adonai Elecha V'nashua Kadesh Yameinu Kekeren Kadesh Yameinu
You can resume your seats now. And, Shabbat Hagadol is, it's traditionally, this Shabbat before Pesach was one of only 2 times in the year that a rabbi gave a formal sermon. So Hagadol, the great Shabbat, and it was a long and lengthy one at that. Now, at least partly, this was to provide the congregants with the details of the ritual cleaning and observance. But I'm not going to discuss the details of how to kosher a kitchen for Pesach, though, for my sins, I was once in charge of overseeing that process for a congregation in Salt Lake City, blowtorches and all. And some of you may know what I'm talking about in the days before there were self-cleaning ovens, when you blowtorch the inside of your oven and any other surface that would withstand it, like your stainless steel sinks, etc. Now, well, I have a self-cleaning oven, so we're not going to discuss those. And of course, it was also probably, these were discussed as a reminder to the congregants that they should have the rabbi, and it would have been a hymn in those days, around to check their ovens before they began to cook for the festival. So I can assure you that neither Renee nor I have the slightest interest in checking out your kitchens. And I just hope that all of you will return that favor and not come to look at mine. Nevertheless, we, like our ancestors, do spend time cleaning and preparing for Passover. And so we should. But I hope our preparation is of both a physical and a spiritual nature. I expect it would be a rare person among us who has not found themselves in some Mitzrayim, some narrow place this past year, who may have been chained by our own fears and doubts. Perhaps we've faced hardships, faced illness, our own or that of loved ones, or been enmeshed in some sort of difficult, complicated relationship with friends. So our physical cleaning can be a proxy for spiritual cleaning. We could look at the ways we have been enslaved this year. We could face our inner pharaohs and say, as Moses did, "Let me go." We can cast out that which traps us. We can move forward from old ways. We can get rid of the chametz that blights our lives and our souls. Our Pesach preparation, whether it's cleaning out or baking some of our Passover favorites, reminds us that Passover takes preparation, and so does freedom. The meaning of Passover is not found in the removal of chametz. That's a means to help us fully experience the festival by changing our routine, altering even our basic diet by removing one of our most common foodstuffs. We get a taste of something different, of freedom. We hope that when we return to the familiar, that it will be transformed for us, that we may see it in a new light. We hope the change may transform us. Besides just removing chametz from our diet, we need to ask ourselves what spiritual chametz we need to remove from our own lives. What do we need to let go of to start our journey? We tell the story of Passover not because it represents a historical truth, but because it teaches us a much more fundamental sort of truth. Mitzrayim, the narrow place, was not just one physical place. And yes, because we also find ourselves in narrow places, we remember that the Exodus was not just one moment in time. It must keep happening. Passover commemorates the Israelites' freedom from slavery. And as we approach Passover, we need to ask ourselves, what is it that enslaves us? What holds us back from being all that we can be? Becoming free can be hard work. The story we retell during the Seder is one of struggle, even to get Pharaoh to give in. It took plague after plague to convince him. and that was just the beginning. Michael Walzer notes that the Israelites are not, after all, magically transported to the Promised Land. They're not carried on eagle's wings on the eagle's wings of Exodus 19. No, instead they must march to get there, and the march is full of difficulties, crises, struggles, all very realistically presented and described in Torah, as if to invite human as well as divine resolution. The way Torah presents the story of the Exodus, the Israelites spent 40 years trying to get to grips with the next part of the liberation, the freedom too. They searched for the way to create a new society. They sought the way to hear again, in their generation, the voice of the God that called Abraham. We're all familiar with the phrase from Exodus, "Let my people go." But that's a truncated version. The full version reads, "Let my people go that they may serve me." It wasn't just the freedom from slavery, but the freedom to do something. Perhaps that's the difference between mere survival and living. We must live for something. In Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl searches for an explanation for those who survived and who didn't in concentration camps. And he concludes from his experience that it's finding meaning which makes the difference. Being human always points us in a direction, always points or is directed to something or someone other than oneself. Be it a meaning to fulfill, sorry, I'm struggling to read just for a minute here. So this is quoting Viktor Frankl. Being human always points or is directed to something or someone other than oneself. Be it a meaning to fulfill or another human being to encounter. The more one forgets himself by giving to a cause to serve or another person to love, the more human, in fact, he is. So because we were liberated from Mitzrayim, from idolatry and slavery, we are now free to live as Jews and to build a sacred community. Our ancestors were willing to die for their faith, and are we willing to live for ours? Passover beckons us to show that we accept the challenge and the privilege of living and growing as Jews. And part of that commitment impels us to speak out for Jewish values, for Jewish community, and for human freedom and dignity around the world. We know the journey to freedom didn't happen once and for all. We are carefully instructed to live it out again and again, not just for memory's sake, but because we too must become fully liberated. Our journey through the Seder is not simply to read the text of the Haggadah, but to put ourselves into it. Ki ilu hu yatsa mitzrayim, as if it were us. We have to make the journey for ourselves. We must relearn some of the same lessons of our ancestors. Mature freedom is not the escape from responsibilities, but rather the acceptance of them. And perhaps we need to ask ourselves where our journeys are taking us. I love Michael Walzer's words on this. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. That there is a better place, a promised land. The winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, and there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands and marching together. So with that, we turn now to our concluding prayers, and we turn to page 213, so we can rise and read on page 213 the Judy Chicago poem, and then as we think about that time when we are free, when all are free, and when we have built that world that we want to inhabit. So we say together, page 213. And then all that has divided us will merge. And then compassion will be wedded to power. And then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind. And then both men and women will be gentle. And then both women and men will be strong. And then no person will be subject to another person's will. And then all will be rich and free and varied. And then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many. And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance. And then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old. And then all will nourish the young. And then all will cherish life's creatures. And then all will live in harmony with each other and earth. And then all, everywhere, will be called Eden once again. And we turn now to prepare for the Kaddish. And as we think of those whom we have lost, who once shared festivals and shared our lives with us, we remember that the growing good of the world is partly dependent on unhistoric acts, and that things do not so ill with you and me as they might have been, is half owing to the number who lived faithfully a hidden life and rest in unvisited tombs. Even when they are gone, the departed are with us. They inspire us to live as in their higher moments they themselves sought to live. We remember them now. They remain in our hearts. They are a continual blessing. And this Shabbat, we think of Michael Rich, whose funeral a number of us attended this past week. And we wish Sarah, who we know is online's daughter, long life. And say may his memory always be a blessing to her and to all of us as well. We think of George Clare, the father of Jackie Jessup and grandfather to Lydia and Nicola. Of Mary Simon, Rabbi Renee's mother. Of Louis and Sadie Green, the parents of Myra Helfand. And of Molly Simon, the mother of Fleur Standring. For those whom we've named, for those whose names we hold in our hearts, and for those for whom there is no one left to say Kaddish, we say together on page 524. Yit Gadol, Yit Kadash, Me'arava, Bi'almad, Yivrav, Yerutei, Yamlith Malchutei, B'chayachon, Yom Echon, L'chayei L'chol Beit Yisrael, Hagala, Uzman Karim, V'imru. Amen. Yehesh Me'arava, L'borach, L'olam L'ole'anaya. Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitka'ar, Yitramam, Yitnaseh. Yitadar, Yitalei, Yitalal, Shmei Kudishah, Barichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'netemata, da'amiran v'yamah v'imru. Amen. Yehei shalom rava min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu, yal kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'brama, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu, yal kol Yisrael, yal kol b'nei Adam.
Amen.
And we can resume our seats. I have no idea if there are any notices, anything we should remind people of. I know that booking for the communal Seder is now closed. Is that correct?
That's right. Sorry, too late.
So if you haven't booked and you wanted to go, it's too late.
I think the Beyond Hearts closed.
It's the, well, all I can remember first before that is Yom HaShoah, the 18th. So that's probably the best thing to think about. Tuesday the 18th, there's a Yom HaShoah service with the choir here. And details of everything else coming up after that are in the bulletin. So we're going to conclude with Maya Fechayom.
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah.
And those are the only words that you need to know for the whole song. Maya Fechayom, Shabbat Shalom. So let's sing and
Maya Fechayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fechayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
So I wish you Shabbat Shalom, and I wish you all of you a good Passover and a good journey. And by way of sort of concluding benediction, how does the journey to freedom begin? Once, and then again and again, we wake, and for the 100th morning in a row, grope in the early silence for the words to describe what is wrong. One day, words begin. We are wrenched from the patterns that have defined our lives. We can no longer live as we have lived. And as we go through our Seder ritual, and I think it's useful to remember the words of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, Zichronom Livracha. Prayer is meaningless unless it is subversive, unless it seeks to overthrow and to ruin the pyramids of callousness, hatred, opportunism, falsehoods. The liturgical movement must become a revolutionary movement, seeking to overthrow the forces that continue to destroy the promise, the hope, and the vision. Shabbat Shalom. I think we're having Kiddush in here because I think there's still probably Seder going on in the NFJ hall, the Cheder.